Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series on this channel. We're going to be playing Dicey Dungeons. It's, if you're watching this like the day it's published, and you're at all interested in this kind of game, you've probably seen it all over YouTube and Twitch. It just came out a week or so ago, and it's by... I haven't actually looked at the credits, but okay, cool. I wondered if it was going to play a cinematic or something, but no. By Terry Kavanagh, who's made a number of well-regarded roguelike-ish games. And like Super Hexagon, which is kind of, I mean, it's definitely on the border of what you would even come close to calling a roguelike. Anyway, so I thought that I would give this a try. Oh, look, there's more stuff. I just wanted to double check and show you guys the name, Terry Kavanagh. But, okay, a bunch of other people too. Get me out of here. Oh, I just hit title. Okay. So I've been playing this a bit, and I've had some fun with it, and I thought I would show you guys. If you, in particular, liked Slay the Spire, I think that is by far the game that this is closest to, except it's kind of more themed around dice than cards. So, let's just dive in. I think the sound levels are pretty okay. The music is probably a bit quiet, but... that's sort of on purpose because it's such like up-tempo, noisy music that it's sort of hard to hear me talk if I let you enjoy the music, so it's just sort of a background thing. But I did, of course, want you to be able to hear the game volume. So there's a bunch of like starting, I guess you could call them classes you could play as, and for each one there's like, this is kind of like a game show is the story of this game. You're, you know, fighting to win prizes, basically, and you get turned into a dice. They don't say die, they say dice, which is a little bit infuriating, but singular of die is dice, apparently. Anyway, and so the first episode is kind of like the intro. I've already finished episode 1, and then like the later episodes add like twists to the rules that generally make things harder. I've tried a couple of them, and like I found they did make things genuinely quite a bit harder. I have in fact not won any of them yet, as you can see. And we need to unlock this last character, we need to finish at least 2 episodes for a single character. But we're not going to do that first. We're just going to dive into, I'm going to like go through all the characters one at a time and just do their episode 1 to give you guys like an idea of the rules. I don't know, maybe after a couple episodes I'll skip to a 2 or something, but probably not, I don't know. Anyway. So let's dive into episode 1, and I won't go like super in detail on like like explaining all the rules, because it becomes pretty obvious pretty quickly, even if you don't know what's going on just from watching. And also some of you have probably watched this on other people's channels, you've seen it by now. But anyway, so Lady Luck, kind of the host of the game show, says, the warrior's back, and yeah, congratulations, you're still trying. So the idea of the game show is that, like, if you make it to the end, you get to like spin the wheel and see what prize you win, but like it's rigged and you always win no prize. Anyway, so here's the grid. There's enemies to fight, and there's loot to pick up, and there's, you know, down to the next floor. There's 6 floors. It's all pretty straightforward. So kind of the way the game goes is you're fighting one enemy at a time, and you have some equipment, things you can spend dice on. Right now, we just have a sword, plus the warrior's special ability combat roll. This like thing means as much, you know, deal damage equal to the size of the die you put in, and we only get to use it once per turn. So we want as big a dice, as possible, and so we'll just re-roll the lowest number we have. We got a 6, perfect. So we'll spend the 6. He takes 6 damage, end of turn. Nothing I can do with that leftover dice. His thing doesn't do anything when you put a die into it, just sort of like counts down. No need to reroll, we have a 6 already. Okay, so he is going to get to hit me for 10. Kind of, what can you do? And when you take damage, you sort of build up your limit break, which for Warrior is Fury. It lets you use your next action twice. And that persists between battles, so we're not going to spend it here, we'll save it for the next one. You get 1 gold every fight, and experience equal to the level of the monster. And this game is The variety in this game is not as high, I feel, as like Slay the Spire, for example. It's certainly not as high as Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. You kind of encounter like different enemies, but exactly the same. Like there's always 2 level 1 enemies on first floor, and then on the second floor there's like 2 level 2 enemies, I feel like, or something like that, maybe a 3. I don't remember exactly, but it's sort of like they path it out very carefully so that you always like exactly level up at the same time, and you have just enough experience to get to maximum level by the boss if you fight all the enemies. There's like the same number of rewards. Everything is like, there's not that much randomness. What is random is like what weapons, what equipment you get. But they're all like I don't know. They're not all samey. You can definitely build like different stuff around them, but there's a lot of variations on some of a sort of smallish number of themes. So I feel like if you played this enough, runs would start to get pretty samey, but you know, I haven't played it that much, and you know, the episodes should spice things up, right? So anyway, this does it's like the sword, but it does earth-themed damage and weakens if you get a 6, so it's like strictly better than the sword. So that's nice. And we have room to equip both of them, so of course we will. All right, frog, huh? Well, we could have used our limit break to kill him with a 4 and a 2, double the 4, and then put the 6 in. But now we can just kill him and save the limit break, so that's nice. We're gonna level up here, and every level up you get more maximum health, plus you heal to your new maximum health, so the health we lost by this point doesn't matter. I just realized I can't see how long I've been recording. Let me move around my windows a bit. There we go. Anyway, and you don't always get an extra dice with every level up. You usually get something nice in addition to the extra health, but it's not always a dice. So here we are, and look, there's a 2, a 2, and a 3. No, 3 2s. All right, whatever. So we'll level up from killing 2 of them, and then we'll have some spare experience for the next floor. So you can also, by the way, look and see, like, what can the enemy do? So on an odd, he does some damage to us and freezes us. On an even, he does some damage and burns us. Fine. Well, I don't like 1s. I just want the highest number I can get. Warrior is pretty straightforward. Cool. Perfect. So let's Fury to double weaken him. And weaken takes some equipment and makes it worse for a turn. So I don't know exactly what Snowball minus looks like, but it's worse than Snowball. And we'll see in a minute. Yeah, it just doesn't inflict the burn or the freeze. It just does damage. So anyway, if we can just roll a 4 or higher, we have him here. Fine, roll 6s. We got 2 experience because there's a level 2 enemy. You see how it goes. Let's hit up the Dryad next, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't super matter. So Dryad's strong against poison, but we don't really care because we don't do any poison damage. And like she heals herself or something? Yeah. Oh, good rolls. Wow. Boy, and the Weaken hit the wrong one. I would much have preferred Weaken to hit Venus Flytrap, because all it does is, when it hits Poison Slingshot, it just decreased the amount of poison applied, but she didn't even get high enough to trigger it, so like that Weaken kind of did nothing. If we'd weakened Venus Flytrap, I think it gets like max 3 or something, which would have saved us some health. Okay, let's re-roll as many 1s as we can. Yuck! 4, 8, we can do 10 if we Fury, or 6 if we don't. I'd rather just not, because like we might kill her anyway next turn. And we should get a better thing to Fury next turn anyway than just like a dang 4. Oof. So poison is exactly like in Slay's Fire. You take 4 damage, then you take 3, then you take 2, and so on. Okay, so now we have what, 5 plus 3? Yeah, it's only 8. So if we can get like if we can turn one of these 3s into a 6, we can save the Fury. Unlikely, but it could happen. Alright, well... Oh. The other thing is, we're gonna heal to full health after this, so spending the Fury kind of like is pointless. Unless she can kill us next turn. We're gonna take 3 damage. She might do 6 more is 9. And if she could add 4 more poison, that would kill us. But she needs to roll 3 6s for that, which I just don't think is very likely. So I'm gonna try to save the limit break. Okay, we're fine. As long as we roll at least 1 on any die. Which of course is pretty easy. Okay, so now instead of a dice, this time we get offered a chance, a choice of weapons. And I love Spiked Shield. Like, gaining shield is cool, and the flexibility to deal damage with it instead is nice. And like, I don't totally understand why Boomerang would be good, but sure. It's smaller, right? So these, all 3 of these take up 2 slots. Boomerang only takes up 1 slot, so we could like fit more weapons. But right now, like, we only have 3 dice anyway, and so 3 weapons is fine. Alright, we picked up a bump, which I could swap out, say, and go like this. Bump just adds 1 to the value of a die and gives it back, but obviously would rather have Spiked Shield. But let's check the shop. What do we have here? Broadsword, obviously a strict improvement on sword, so that's kind of cool. It's not great, but it's fine. Claw, we don't really have any reason to go for poison, and I don't need more shield, so I think I will go ahead and grab the broadsword and just put it in instead of my sword. There you go. Alright, so we still just want large numbers, except that for Spike Shield we want specifically odd numbers, because like, we already have plenty of ways to do damage. What we don't have is like ways to defend ourselves, and so that's kind of why Spike Shield, you like to put 5s in there most of the time. Ooh, this is great. So I think I'll go for 2 weakens, 5 shield, and throw whatever's left into the broadsword. Perfect. Let's double up this 6. I'm not sure exactly what weaken does on these. Maybe I should have doubled up the extra damage instead, or doubled up the shield. I don't know. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. It made it like illegal for you to attack me. So we now have 1 die that's blind. We don't know what it is. And even if we re-roll it, we still won't know. But it doesn't really matter, of course. We'll just win. Alright, and we could eat this apple for health. Actually, we can't because we're full. It won't let me. Oh, something I could have pointed out is we could go back to the shop. You can buy multiple items from the shop if you want. After you buy one, it like closes the window, but if you want, you can go back and buy another. This upgrades... doesn't really... But whichever one of these 2 we fight still opens up like the rest of the level to us, so... I don't know. I think I'm going to fight these 2 in some order. I might as well fight this first. I don't know. Who knows? So weakening this guy is not going to be of much interest because he has multiple copies of the equipment he wants, and I don't even know what it does if you weaken it. Wow, good rolls. So... if I had Fury, I probably wouldn't use it on Shovel. I'd use it on Broadsword, but I don't, so... Let's reroll this 3, try to get something high-ish. Alright, I don't mind 6s. I mean, it would be maybe nice to get 5 shield, but I'm okay with just doing a ton of damage to him. I can't put a 6 in there. Max 5. You got me. Ha! Perfect. That's the roll I actually wanted. Thanks for making me reroll. Oh, interesting. It only... oh, wow. So, of course, it was unlikely that the weaken would hit that particular equipment. Since it could have hit any one of them. And hitting any of these is, like, not that interesting. because he kind of relies on rolling something high-ish to give him a bunch of ones. And he can kind of put them wherever. It's, you know, there's places he'd prefer to put them, but... making it so he can only do that if he rolls an even number is actually, like, quite remarkable. Because then if he rolls, like, a 3 or a 5, he's just, like, dead. Not that I have the choice to do it. Like, if I weakened him again, it probably would hit something else. But it was pretty cool that it hit this. Unlucky that he had a 4 anyway. Anyway, so he's dead now. And we can go check out the, well, let's check out the shop first, of course. Maybe we want to upgrade what we get from the shop. Bleh. I mean, these are all kind of like sinks for having too many dice, which is not a problem that we have yet, so I'm not that excited to spend gold on them. On the other hand, they're very cheap. So, well, no, they're not. Blight is, but it's completely useless, so who cares? These are like, not that great. Right, they require multiple dice to give you some health. Okay, so what can I upgrade then? So shovel lets you weaken more often. This lets you put a 6 in. This adds 1 damage. They're all pretty bad. I mean, let's just put it in here so I don't have to count on getting a 6. Sure. It doesn't matter which one of these I fight. Actually, I should fight this first so I have access to more equipment when I fight the witch. The sorceress, I should say. Sure. Okay, so we still want high numbers, and 5s are pretty good for Spike Shield. What's this guy do? Does damage, drains health, which ignores your shield, by the way. Okay. So maybe I should not be trying to shield up. Maybe I should just be hitting him as much as I can. That's probably true. I mean, shielding is still okay, because it would block this. But he's kind of got some sustain, and so I'd rather just try to rush him down with more damage if possible. Okay, I mean, that can go into the shovel. That can also go into the broadsword. And I can consider not re-rolling and just put up some shield. I only have 1 die left. I think this is about as good as I'm gonna do. Okay, re-roll the 1 and a 3. Honestly, leave the 2 for shovel and re-roll the 3 instead. Okay. Not as good a roll as we've been getting, like, pretty much this entire episode. Or I guess I should say this video. We've been getting very good rolls, and that was, like, a less good roll. Great. Now I have Fury, and I don't even know, like, what my dice are. Well, I certainly don't want a 1. This is fine. But if I don't have a way to guarantee weakening him except by re-rolling a 5, which is not something that I want to do. You know what I should do? Is just Fury a broadsword for 14? And then, like, as long as I don't pick one of these that's a 1, I kill him with shovel. If I do pick a 1, I have, like, a 50-50 chance of killing the spiked shield. Actually, it's a bit worse than that. Yeah. So I guess I can delay the Fury Broadsword until all this other stuff works itself out. So let's see. If this does damage, he's dead. I'm sorry, it's a 6. Oh. Well, that's good to know. That's another way that doing this first was an improvement, is I might just do this. And we leveled up. And we get more dice. Great. So, what's our equipment? It's Detonator. Deal damage for every poison on enemy. Lots of poison synergy available, like if we went to this shop. But still no way to actually put poison on enemies, so really not super impressed by this yet. So freezing dice makes you roll ones. It takes your highest die and turns it into a one. So she has a way to make us take a lot of ones, which I'm not super happy with. Of course, we'll roll them, we'll re-roll them, but it means we have fewer uses of re-roll for other purposes. Do we try to rush her down, or do we try to shield up? I don't know. Let's re-roll the 2 anyway. 4 is fine. Re-roll the 3. 6 is great. Re-roll the 4? Yes. Alright, well, forget that. So now the question is just what to put where. The 6 clearly goes here. But the question is, do we want 5 shield and 6 damage? Or do we want 11 damage? I think I'll take the shield. Oh, wow. Very low rolls. Should have called it first. Bad play, but she got rewarded for it. Alright, well, let's just re-roll all the ones, probably, right? Yep. Probably still take this. I guess I have to take shield out of this, and it's just a question of whether I'd rather have 2 shield or 2 damage. I think I'd rather have the 2 shield. This fight's not going great, but it's not a disaster yet. Okay, so we healed through that turn, right? The shield stopped us from taking any damage. It's sort of, like, fine. Great, I love to see the 6. Do I have lethal? 6, 10, 15, 17. Yes. 6, 10, 17. Okay, and we can just eat a bunch of apples, or 1 apple. Still nothing we want from this shop, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, the buckler, it's small. It's not the end of the world, but I don't have anything I would really want to pair it with anyway. And I'm pretty happy with what I have, so. Alright, floor 4. Well, our path is sort of predetermined here, huh? No decisions to make? Actually, there is a decision, when to eat that apple. Although I think we might not... Yeah, I don't think we're leveling until we finish all the enemies, so we might as well eat it as soon as we've lost enough health that it won't be wasted. Wow, look at these dice. I'm starting to wonder if I should have some dice dumps at this point. Well, I don't know. Cause, like, it's kind of a shame to waste this 6, isn't it? But the 3 things we have are pretty great. So burned dice, if you touch them, you take 2 damage and they become unburned. So it would be nice to not use that. Yeah, and like, I mean, it's not good. We could just use it to get 2 extra shield at the cost of 2 health. It's like, why? There you go. So we use our 4th die after all. By having a burn target be a die that we don't care about. Now, in fairness, if this were not burning, I would be re-rolling it. So it is like a slight opportunity cost for me right now, in that I'm having to re-roll 3s instead of 2s. So like, that's not the end of the world. Anyway, we got him. Okay, yeah, so we have, what, a 3 and a 4 left to level, which is Oh, a 4 and a 4? Yeah, which is these guys. So right now this health is not wasted, and we're never going to get better chance, so we might as well take it as soon as possible. Wicker Man, I remember, is weak to fire, but we don't really have anything to do about that, so... This guy has the same voice as the last one we fought, doesn't he? He, like, sets you on fire and stuff, yeah. And heals himself. Okay. I think we should probably double up the weaken. Well, so we could double up 4 damage in a weaken, or double up 7 damage. So is 3 damage worth more than a weaken? Probably not. I want to weaken him a lot. It saved us several damage. I would have preferred to hit both of the Venus flytraps, but you can't always be that lucky, right? It's only 1 in 3. Ugh, bad dice. Get out of here. Okay, I like 6s. I don't like 2s. I love 6s. So I think we take the 3 shield over the 4 damage, right? Health is pretty cool. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. We're gonna have to make it through one more fight without healing. What is this? 6 and 7 is 13. I can... Let's see. I can kill him right now with a 6 plus a 7 is 13 plus a 4. If I use this burning die. But I can reroll this 2 first to give myself a chance to roll another 4. I think I need specifically a 4. A 6 doesn't do it, right? 6, 14, and then this 5 is shield instead of damage. So what do I reroll here? Ah! No, I do have lethal. No, I don't. Shoot. I was thinking, aha, I'll shield myself so that I can touch this die without taking damage, and then I'll attack him with all my 3 dice, but I can't do that because that uses up the shield. So I think rerolling the 5 or the 6 doesn't really matter. If everyone gets me a 4, means I kill him, and if it doesn't, it means I have to use this. Either way, it's fine, so I don't know. Unlucky. But certainly better than letting him attack me again to just take 2 damage. Alright, new equipment. On 6, inflict shock. So that's kind of cool. Is it better than a broadsword? I think so. Simply, like, because we have spare dice, we'll often have a 6 we can, like, hopefully toss in here. I don't know. The extra 2 damage per turn is pretty good, though. We don't have a way to force 6s. And spending a 6 here might mean not spending an even in shovel, so there is some downside to it. But I think shocking enemies is pretty cool, so I'm gonna try for it. Shock means it affects a random piece of equipment in the same way that weaken does, but instead of making the equipment weaker, it makes them pay a dice before they're allowed to use it. I guess actually, realizing I'm up against this enemy, maybe I should have just kept the extra damage, because shocking and weakening her is not that interesting. Oh well. Definitely being punished here already by not having any 6s available. she's like no big deal. Who cares? Right, there's this. Nope, not a 6. Gotcha. Good freeze. It was a good joke. I got a 6 anyway, though. So I can throw out this 4. Don't need it for much of anything. Well, I could maybe use it in Spike Shield for damage. She has 33 health. We're about to do 6. 10. I think I want the shield, so I might as well reroll this. See if I get something higher than a 4. But I didn't. Okay. So we put the 6 here, a 4 here, and 5 into shield. Oh yeah, I love those low rolls. Reroll the 1s. Into 6s, please. Well, can't have everything. So 6 here, 2 here. I mean, I guess the 4 equivalently. Yeah, 4. Sure. It either doesn't matter or the 4 is better, depending on whether we want 1 shield or 2 damage. I think I'll just take the shield. Okay, very low rolls even without being frozen. Keep re-rolling. Alright, I didn't want this one anyway. So take that. 5 and 4 and 4 is 13, right? Yeah, it sure is. Yep. Alright, and we made it to level 5. Shield Bash is fun. I have had good runs with, like, ways to gain shield and then shield bash. If you upgrade it, it's a lot better. It just needs like an even or something like that, instead of needing 2 dice that are the same, which is like ridiculous. But right now, just with Spiked Shield, we just like don't really have enough to do anything with it, and it's not even that great. So I'll just upgrade something. Spiked Shield gets like a tiny bit better, but I think Hammer is kind of... Oh yeah, downsize the Hammer. So instead of taking up 2 slots, it takes up 1. That's a big improvement for me. Great, I accept. So they're gonna offer to trade me something. Broadsword for staff, huh? Is this good? Like, it takes 8 total dice power to do about as much as Broadsword does with like a 6, right? You do 8 damage here versus like 6 plus a burn, which is usually gonna do 2. But on the other hand, it doesn't all have to be in 1 die, right? You can get 2 4s and put them both into staff, where like with Broadsword, you can't do that. Let's say no deal for now. Like, what am I fitting in with my hammer is the question. Like, obviously bump, there's no other like choice. Which... Oh, I'm not even using Broadsword. Right, because the other 2 are better? I think so. So the question of trading it for staff is kind of uninteresting. I think I should trade it in that case, because in the later game, I'll have even more dice. Like, I think you get 1 more the last time you level. And, like, this as a way to, like, sink useless dice into will be better, and like the fact that it costs 8 instead of 6 will be like less of a downside, so I'll take it. Maybe someday I'll use it. And here we are on floor 5. This is the last normal floor. The final floor is just like the boss fight. And there's a lot of enemies here. Most runs, I found, usually can get to at least floor 5. Like, the early stuff is not that challenging. And then, like, this stuff, there's a lot of relatively tough enemies who could be a problem. Hopefully we'll make it through okay. We level up at 18, which indeed is all of these. So, order? I guess Crystallina Skeleton, giving me access to an apple and all the upgrade stuff. Then Loud Bird for the last apple. Then finally the Rat King. Okay. This is a very... I don't usually play this with my headphones on. And so I don't know. The sound quality is better with headphones than with, like, you know, this kind of crappy monitor speaker. So I hear stuff that I don't notice when I'm playing, like this guy's intro noise, which is kind of weird. Anyway, so this guy, like, takes some time to power up. He doesn't have any weapons that do anything, and then he replaces these slots with actual weapons that are relatively strong. So Shock and Weaken are just not that interesting right now, because he should just, like, pick a weapon that is not shocked or not weakened. But on the other hand, like, what else am I gonna do, right? So, okay. So I think doubling up the hammer is pretty reasonable, just to clock him with more damage. And I guess we put a 4 into Shovel for the weaken. And I guess we put another 4 into Spiked Shield, because well, I'm gonna want Shield eventually, and Shield carries over between turns, so I guess I'll put a 5 in. This is kind of a bummer, because it means... there's no way I can use my bump to do anything productive, I was thinking, right? Because if I upgrade a 4 to do more damage with Shovel, it no longer weakens, which is, like, not that bad, but, like, kind of a downside, right? But instead what I think I should do is bump the 5 so that I have 2 6s. And I'll put a 4 into Spiked Shield, which is, like, about as good as a 5, really. And then it's a question of, do I want to weaken his stuff or shock it? Obviously I'm doing both. Which one do I want to do twice? I think it doesn't matter at all. He'll just aim for other things, so I don't know. In case he's dumb enough to put dice into it, let's shock it more. Yeah. There we go. 22 damage, solid turn. Wow, he rolled so high. What? Huh? Why didn't he use any of his other dice? I don't understand. Like, I'm pretty sure these were all still present, and he could have put dice in them. He could have put a second die in this one. Like, that's how these countdown things usually work. Counters, I guess they're called. But even if somehow putting a 5 in here made it illegal to put another dice in, he could have just put one of his 6s in. And he could have spent some dice to turn these things on. I don't get it at all. I'm very pleased that he chose to, like, play a very bad turn. But I don't know why he did. Normally the AI is not, like, completely insane. So right now I'm planning to bump this 5 into a 6 and put the hammer in, or the 4 into a Shovel, which I think means I'm re-rolling this 2. Great, got a 5. I'll take it. So bump this. Oh, nice! We shocked the one that that was almost ready to unlock, so it was, like, more expensive. And then he put a bunch of dice into the one that had no effect. Oh boy. Is he dead? Not yet. Could he possibly be dead? 12. Yeah! If we get a 6 and a... If we get 2 6s and a 4, we can kill him. And we can get one of those just from bump, right? So I think I actually want to reroll this 2, not the 3 or the 5. Because then if I get a 6 or a 4, I can manufacture the other one. Whereas if I like reroll this 3 into a 6, it doesn't actually help. Right? Whereas rerolling the 2 into a 6 would help. 6 or 4, please. 6 or 4. Got him. So now we bump this up and we do 12 plus 4. Okay, he chose never to attack us. I am very appreciative of this. I can use all the help I can get on floor 5. Repeat next attack. Well, I mean, it's small. It might be better than bump, honestly. Yeah, as like a dice sink. Yeah, we always have a dice left at the end of the turn, and like we can just dump that into chocolate cookie, and eventually it'll do something good, right? We said the skeleton next. Decent rolls. I need 1 even still, so I guess I reroll a 4. Yuck. Okay, well, I made things worse, not better. Oh well. Would have liked the 6. Bump might be nice here. Oh well. This guy's gonna curse us. Oh no! Oh my god. Oh! Oh! That was the luckiest weekend ever! He got this insane roll. 2 6s. And we said, sorry, those aren't allowed. You have to use only 3s. Oh, wow, that's lucky. Also lucky, this insane roll? Are you kidding me? Wow. So instead of shielding up, I think I'd rather double my weaken. Because that, like, minimizes his total threat by a lot. Alright, well, this time it didn't matter to him much. I guess it did. It saved us a few damage. This almost looks like it could be lethal somehow. But I guess it's not even close. Alright. It's good to check. Hello? I think I won't reroll the 5s just yet. Well, now I will. Actually, will I? Maybe they're fine to keep. No, I want an even number. Fine. This is a bit tricky, isn't it? I could put a 6 here and a 2 here and a 5 here. And then, like, roll over the chocolate cookie with a 5. And that does 8 damage and gains 5 shield. And powers up chocolate cookie. Or I could activate the chocolate cookie this turn to do 12 damage and no shield. Thinking about it now, that definitely seems worse. So let's just do the good thing instead. And we should have him next turn. Ooh. Wow. Those weakens are so good. Yeah, we have him. We put the 6 and the 1 in here to double up an attack, and then hit him again for 5. Alright, now we get to go see these upgrades over here. What do we got? We still haven't taken damage on this floor? Wow. Anyway, so we could buy a hammer, but I don't need another. Buy another upgrade? Like, isn't my stuff already pretty upgraded? The chocolate cookie and the spiked shield both could use an upgrade, so that seems great. I mean, it's not amazing, but this is clearly a good upgrade. And I think that, like, what else are we going to do with our money? we could buy almost everything in this shop. We could even buy the hammer. We don't even want it. So give me this upgrade. Hit me on the spike shield. Why not? Maybe I'll want to put a 6 in there someday. I'm choosing to fight the higher level guy first while I'm at full health so that I have... Actually, that was a dumb choice. I should have fought the bird first to unlock more heals. Ugh, these rolls. Okay, that's not bad. 6. Actually, he doesn't care at all about shock. Maybe I should be using it to weaken him. He doesn't care about that either. Damage? Yeah, actually, shield does nothing against him because all he does is poison. So I want to be doing damage with my spike shield, and the only way to do that is with a 6. And the shock and weaken both don't matter that much, so it's fine that I don't trigger them. See, he wouldn't even have cared if I'd shocked one and weakened another. He had 2 left over, right? Yeah. I mean, it might be nice to shock like 3 things or something, but it doesn't super matter. We just want the highest numbers we can get, preferably evens. At least 1 even, I guess. Yeah. We just want at least 1 even. And otherwise for all numbers to be high. Okay, so we put a 4 in here. Sorry? Did I not do that? It sounded like we gained shield or something. We clearly didn't. We did damage. Okay, I just like looked away from the screen for a minute and the sound confused me. And then we can do 9 damage. Or if we wanted to, we could double up a 10. Double up a 5 for 10, but then we reset the chocolate cookie. I'd rather do 9 damage and have an easy chocolate cookie next turn, right? I guess shock is better than weaken. Oh, I just did neither, you idiot. Oh. Okay. One of them was triggered only by a 6, so the other one was triggered by even, so I should have chosen to trigger that. Wow, 2 1s. And he's so dumb, he doesn't understand where to put these. This is an enemy whose AI definitely could use some work. He makes a lot of bad plays. Alright, get rid of these 1s. And this 3. Okay, so do we have him yet? Seems like it, right? Yes. We can double up. A 5 is 10. 4 more and a 3. Got him. This run seems to be going pretty well so far. Good rolls, I accept. So Loud Bird is mostly like a nuisance. He can only do like a small amount of damage, but he has a bunch of ways to like make fighting him harder. So in principle, he could like pin you down if you were weak enough and just keep pestering you, but I don't know exactly how that affects my plans. I think I'm pretty happy to just I think let's shock him twice. Just spend the 5 and the 4 here to chocolate cookie immediately. I'll spend 2 5s here, actually. So I can shock twice and weaken once. 1 less damage, but I get a weaken. I could have chosen to, like, not weaken him, but also get a shield or something. I don't know. Okay. Well, he worked around all the shocks. The weakens, I don't know if it made a difference. I don't remember. Silence means like you can't use your like class-specific abilities, combat roll or fury. You can pay 2 dice to get out of it. All right, so we can't weaken or shock him this time. Wow, look at those rolls, amazing. Well, everything I have is even. So the only thing I can do is damage. So let's do 2 damage. Well, no, hang on. Yes. He's dodging the next attack. So I want to spend my 2 on attacking and save my 4 for a chocolate cookie. No doubles, but he got an even and an odd. This is the last enemy on the floor. We're going to level, so if possible, I'd like to avoid using Fury. Chocolate cookie, 7 for no effect. Amazing. I kind of have, like, almost exactly what I want right now. I guess I'd rather... Do I have what I want? I want to spend something small and even for spiked shield damage, so a 2 is fine. I want 2 6s here. So I guess I want a large number here to go into chocolate cookie. Okay. Fine. Nope, spend the 2 first. No doubles, but he got a big odd and an even, which is all he needs. Like, that was his perfect turn, except he liked 6s, of course. So he's dodging, so we'll just bop him, and then bop him. Alright, so we made it to the boss. We got our final dice. Double check the shop. Yep, still don't want another hammer. Any reason I should want to switch equipment? I don't know. Well, you know what? Like, I'm never gonna get to use this gold again anyway, so give me the hammer. Who knows? Maybe I'll use it for something. Warrior versus Buster. I've never seen Buster before. So I don't have any particular reason to consider switching. I don't know what he's strong against, what he's weak against, but I do know these are my best pieces of equipment, so let's go for it. I could have guessed that strong against fire. Oh, are you... Hello, are you in fight? Let's fight. Who's a good fighter? I'm a good fighter. Oh, he's like a puppy. Okay. 68 health. And he just breathes a lot of fire and burns all your dice. Okay. Shock and weaken likely to be not that impressive against him, since, like, his stuff is all sort of indistinguishable. Fungible, even. But he has 4 dice, you know, we could inconvenience him. So let's start re-rolling some stuff. 1s are dreadful. 4s are okay, but I only need 1 even, right? So, all right then. So what's the plan? What is the plan? Put a 5 and a 4 in here, double up the shovel. Then spiked shield for 5. And hammer for 4. Actually, I have 2 double ups, right? I have the chocolate cookie and the fury. But I think the chocolate cookie says attack, which would not include like spiked shield defending, whereas fury does include it. I'm not sure though. So anyway, I think we put the 5 here. And we might as well double that. Then we put a 5 and a 4 here, and we put 4s here and here. That seems fine. I've never heard this music before. This is like his boss music, maybe. It's a cool remix of the main fight theme. Yeah, that was what I wanted to do. Okay, good. God, I just got lost in like... What's this flag, by the way? Has that always been there? I didn't know you could flee. Okay. Alright, these rolls are fine. What an idiot! He chose the crappy ones. Okay, the enemies clearly are not like that smart, even though sometimes they seem like they might be. I kind of want another even number more than I want to increase like the difference between a 2 and a 3. Oh, you can't win them all, huh? Should I maybe try to double that? No, I'm not doubling this turn. Yeah. And set up a chocolate cookie. Look at this moron. Sixes are great. I could just put a 3 into chocolate cookie. I kind of want a largish number to put in here though, which suggests re-rolling this 2. Would have liked maybe an odd number, but damage is fine too, I guess. So here, I think I want to double the weaken since he seems really dumb about it. Whereas shock, I think they kind of understand how it works. That's why I was confused earlier. The spiked shield noise makes a shield... Spiked shield weapon makes a shield noise even when you use it to attack. I see. This fight seems to be going totally fine. He doesn't understand how to use his fire breath at all. These rolls, on the other hand, are just garbage. Let's put a weaken on him at least. I'd rather have 4 damage than 1 shield, I think. But on the other hand, it would be nice to like buff up chocolate cookie a little, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's just take the damage. He should be dead pretty soon. And the difference between 6 and 4 is pretty small when you have 5 dice. Maybe he's intentionally dumb. They wanted to make weaken stronger against enemies like this? I don't know. Anyway, we have him super dead. Amazing! Astounding! Now let's see what the wheel has to say. So yeah, this is where you spin the wheel and you like, if you get a prize or if you unlucky, you have to stay in the dungeon. Unlucky, we have to stay in the dungeon. Cool, so that was episode 1. It shows you what episodes we finished. And like I said, we're going to go through some of the characters sort of in order here. And they are an increasing difficulty level. Like Warrior is the easiest. I won my first 4 runs with all of these guys, and then I lost maybe 2 times in a row before I won Witch. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it's even more than that. And then they all have like episodes to make them harder yet. And I've tried the Warriors episode. I've tried the Witch. No. I tried Inventors episode 2, and I've tried the Robots episode 2, I think. Or maybe I tried episode 3. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, as you can see, I didn't win them, so they're definitely substantially harder. But you'll find out about those later. For now, we are done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.